Hey, Scootopians, what's going on? This is OhManDan. Welcome to Scootopia. I just came off doing a dead stop brake test with the Kaabo Wolf King, and man, you'll see exactly why I don't like those Zoom brakes. But check that video out. It's the Kaabo Wolf King dead stop brake test. Right now, I'm here in the clubhouse in Irvine, California, getting ready um, to do a small video on this folding stem locking mechanism on the Kaabo Wolf brand, period. That includes the Warror and the King. I'm hearing a lot, people are having challenges with the stem um, locking and unlocking, and also people are getting wobble on their stem, and that's due in part to them not um, locking the folding mechanism properly. So I'm going to show you how to do that, hopefully the easiest way. And then another issue people are having with the Wolf King is rubbing brakes. And so I'm not going to do the brake fix here, but I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do. Okay. So right now, let's just take a little walk around the Wolf King. This is This is it right here, and we're going to do it. Let's go. Let's check it out. So, of course, there are two main differences with the Wolf King and the Wolf Warrior. One is these motors. You have two motors. Well, this difference is kind of distinct in both. The King is coming in at whopping a whopping 6,720 watts of power with both motors, and the Warrior is coming in with 5,400 watts of power. That's because you got the 1,500 watt motor on each front and back motors for the King, and 1,200 watt motor on the Warrior. All right. The other distinction is the battery that's in this deck right here. Um, the battery for the Wolf Warrior is a 35 amp hour, and then for the King it's a 28 amp hour. But it's kind of interesting because that 28 amp hour battery is actually a hybrid. It's the LG MJ1 and the Samsung it's in the Samsung 35E. So the Samsung is 8 amps and the LG is 10 amps. But the weird thing about it is that this hybrid battery can max at 3,500 amps. Yeah. So that might explain some of the different performance outcomes that you get on the King as opposed to the Warrior, and vice versa, and how this King is able to do things that a 28 amp battery should not be able to do. All right. Um, on the flip side, the characteristic of all lithium batteries is climate. The conditions of the weather affect all lithium batteries the same. They have a hard time in extreme cold. Well, it doesn't even have to be extreme. In cold and hot climates. So you have different outcomes on both. So if your scooter is tripping in those climates, don't worry. Tomorrow, if it's a sunny day, it's going to be okay. Tomorrow, if it's a moderate day, it's going to be okay. So, that's just something to consider when you're talking about these lithium batteries. It doesn't matter what the amperage is. All micro mobility PEV um, um, hobbies, or whatever it is you want to call them, that people are doing with these scooters and e-skateboards and electric unicycles and one wheels, and you know all the micromobility PEV. All right, um, it's a lithium battery, and so you're gonna have the same issues in inclement weather. All right, so stop getting all bothered and hot and sweaty and fussing and cussing at people because of batteries. and power and performance. It's not the rider's fault. You know, in most cases when the weather is inclement, especially when you have a machine that has shown and proven that it can perform. Okay? Okay, so let's get down to the nitty gritty of this locking mechanism. The Kaabo comes with a very unique stem locking mechanism, a patent all their own. A lot of people were really raving about it until they bought a Wolf Warrior, or now Wolf King, and saw all the challenges that they have with getting this um, locking mechanism to act right. The first thing I want to tell you is you need to get the wheels off the ground. Okay, you need to release that pressure of being able, especially when you're just beginning. After you get used to locking the mechanism, you'll find that it's a little easier to lock it in place, because now you know the basic principles, and that's what I'm going to show you today, the basic principles for this folding mechanism. All right, so number one, you have the safety pin. Usually comes with a real flimsy chain. You see how it broke on here? Real flimsy. I mean, you know, even the pin itself is kind of thin. They need to, you know, kind of get a little more thicker. Some people, there have been some claims that the pin has been. I haven't seen that, so I can't confirm or deny it. All right. But then you have the folding bracket. You note that you have a little burgundy lever here. This lever, when you have it in the right position, swings left and right. You want to make sure this lever, when you finally lock it in place, is looking just like it is right here. You'll note that you have a nut and bolt sticking out the back end. Can I show you that? There you go. It's sticking out the back end, but you want to make sure that it's on the bottom of this bracket and not at the top, not up here when you lock it in place. So I'm going to show you how that looks. Let's start first by pulling the safety pin. All right. Don't lose your safety pin when you take it out now. Always make sure you keep it somewhere safe. All right. Then the next thing, now you also want to elevate, you know, put it on a stand some, because I want you to sit on the back of the scooter when you're trying to work this folding bracket. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn, you know, kind of release some of the pressure by pushing. Let me turn these lights off. There, turn off the display. All right, so kind of save some of that battery. So you want to kind of relieve some of the pressure by kind of pushing your bar forward a little bit. All right, and then once, I'm trying to hold this camera at the same time, and then once you do that, you just turn this up. But right now, you know, hold on, let me put my camera on the tripod so I can show you. Okay, so you should be able to see this now. Notice what I want you to do is, you know, kind of relieve the pressure on your stem, you know. So you want to make sure it's not so tight. Okay, then it gets easier to turn that lever up, you know. Okay, once you get that, and then you see this toggle right here. Once you get that lever up, you're gonna pull this up. Okay, pull that up. This is how you release it. Now, see this toggle right here? This is how you're going to, you can feel when it's like right in the little sweet spot, like right there, it won't open. I mean, it won't fold, right? But when you push it right there, then it folds real easy. All right, you're gonna learn real fast on the sweet spot for this toggle bolt. Okay, when it's like that, it ain't gonna, because the grommet in there that's horizontal, that I'm gonna show you in a minute, is stopping you from opening or folding your stem. So when you know that, then you just take this, you let down on the stem, and then you just put it right in the middle, and then it goes right through that hole. Now you can fold down your stem. Okay, so let me pause this and get the camera back in my hand again so I can show you up close and personal. Okay, so now you know that you have this all loose and everything. Your stem is your stem. Now look in the back here. You see that? You should see the bolt there. Let me see if I can get it from here. Nope. So you would have to take off that fender to get it from the front view. But let's just kind of give you an idea. You get an idea. You see how it's pointing upward? Okay. When you fold the stem down, hold on, let me move my light out the way before I make a jumbo mess. When you fold the stem down, okay, then you can see, let's get over here. You see this grommet right here? You should be able to see this little, let me turn these lights off because it's blinding you. There we go. Okay, now let me lay down here. Okay, so I'm laying here on the floor because I really want you all to understand how this works, okay? Okay, so you see this grommet right here? This grommet has to be horizontal, and see it should not be loose. So when you tighten it, you make sure that it's tight in the horizontal position. If it's not, then screw this bolt down to where it's tight in that horizontal position. Okay. So again, I guess my camera must have drifted off while I was looking at the boat. But again, you see this grommet has to be in a horizontal position. Make sure it's tight in that position. And the way you do that is screwing this nut down to that grommet and holding it in place. That's the first principle of making this process simple, is making sure you lock that grommet in place with the nut. Okay? You see here, this is where the grommet goes through. You see that opening, how open it is? But you see on the bottom, there's a little slot. That toggle bolt needs to rest in here, okay? And then that grommet is going to hold it. That's why it has to be horizontal, all right? That grommet is going to hold it in place. You get it? All right, so see, and that's the second principle, all right? So when you let the stem down, all right, let me get off the floor. Hold on, I'm going to pause. Okay, so now when you let the stem down, when you let the stem down, I'm going to try and get it where you can see what's going on here. Hold on. Right there. I think you can see that. Okay, so you see how I got my screw in my grommet in position. So when I let the stem down, it goes straight through that hole, and now it's in position to lock in place properly. All right. So now that it's down, I got it all the way down. All right. The next thing I'm going to do to make sure that it's locked in place is I'm going to pull this lever up. And then you heard that? You see the screw in the grommet is on the bottom? Okay? That's where you want it to stay. Now when you get ready to push, now look at what I'm doing. I'm holding this toggle bolt in place while I'm kind of making sure this is firmly pressed down. Okay? Now I'm going to need two hands again, so hold on a second. And it seems like, a lot, that's because it's your first time seeing it, but once you get the principles, then now you know how everything's supposed to flow, how it's supposed to fit in, why it fits in. And so now when you're locking it, you know how it should feel. Okay, so hold on. So this is where you're going to sit back on your deck, straddling your scooter in the platform that it's sitting on, so you can't get something so big you can't sit on it, right? Now, you see I need 2 fingers this, because once I told you how now I know it's firmly in place, and the nut and the grommet and the toggle bolt is literally on the bottom where it's supposed to be. You press that down till it stops or locks in, and then you take this little red lever and you turn it over. See how simple it is when there's no pressure? You turn it over there. Now that's locked in. But for security, you squeeze this little, look like a button on the back, and then you press this all the way in and let the button go. That's your safety pin. Now your stem is securely locked in place. Note, you shake it, it has no wobble whatsoever, and it's tight. Okay, and when you look in the back, your nut and your grommet and everything is locked in place. This is how the simplest way you can get used to locking your folding mechanism on the Kaabo Wolf brand, that's including the Warrior and the King. It's really simple, and then as you do it more, you can do that thing in 3 seconds. All right, but when you don't know, you back there fiddling. It gets locked, and then this thing gets stuck. I mean, it's just a whole lot of things when you don't know the principles. Now you know the 3 principles. Now you can get your Kaabo Wolf scooter, whether a Warrior or a King. You can get it locked in place safely to where it won't come out or you have a stem malfunction while you're riding. Okay, so this is OhManDan saying thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Tap that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all my power scooter, all of my power scooter content, and also all the latest trends, improvements, and news. And this is OhManDan saying I'll see you on the next adventure. I'm out.